Hey guys, so I am back with another video, and this one was actually a request which was on my Instagram. So if you want to check out my Instagram, the link is below. I post new videos and also little quotes and things that I've learned along my journey. So let's get stuck into it. Essentially what the question was how to survive placement and also what to do about competition within midwifery students and within the hospital. So I'm going to kind of give you 10 tips for surviving placement and kind of weave that answer in there as well. So I hope you enjoy. My first major tip would be know your basic knowledge. There's nothing more advantageous than just knowing the processes of a birth, knowing your normal ranges of your observations. All this will give you a kind of confidence and calm manner, and it will also make you look professional to who you're working with. So just getting that down packed is probably the best place to start. Next, I would say, and this is maybe one of the most important, is having a self-care routine. So for me, I had a hard day on placement, I'll have a bubble bath, I'll read a book and just kind of try and forget about it, or I will go to the gym and get out my frustrations. Having some things in place to help you keep up your well-being is so important in this degree, and you will learn that more and more as you go on. Another tip might be a bit obvious, but I know a lot of midwives have given this to students, is to ask a lot of questions. I know a lot of the time we're a bit shy or intimidated, and so we tend to just get silent and go into ourselves. And this isn't really helpful, and to the midwives this can look disinterested and doesn't give them a lot to work with. So what I would say is just ask questions, be curious. Even if you already know the answer, ask about a PBH, ask about a shoulder dystocia, ask, because the midwives love sharing their knowledge with you, and this is just going to reaffirm your knowledge and skills. Another massive thing I would say is don't be afraid to be a colleague. Don't think of yourself as a little old student who is separate from them. You know, if there's cake in the tea room, have some. I have found this a massive help, especially recently working as an assistant midwife. I've noticed such a big difference. I do feel like a colleague, and then I would tell them, you know, about a guy I'm dating or something like that. They bond more with me, and it's just we all share information, because honestly, midwives just want to have a good time there as well. They're not strictly professional. So just think of yourself as part of the team and a colleague, and that will shine through in how you act. Say yes to opportunities given to you. This is a bit obvious, but I know sometimes the midwife will be like, oh, do you want to do the abdominal palp? And I'll be like, oh, I haven't done it in a couple of months, I might just watch. But there's not a lot that can go wrong with abdominal palpation, and that's a situation where I have to just say, yeah, I'll give it a go. You got to fake it till you make it and just jump in there, because I think the hardest part is the self-doubt. It's not that you don't have the knowledge, it's not, you know, it's not that something could go wrong, it's just your own doubt. Just say yes whenever you can. Another big tip would be to find yourself a midwife who can be a mentor to you. Find someone who's not too harsh on students and who you aspire to be, and ask them questions. Talk to them, because this can be a massive help, especially when you go through something tough, if you've got someone experienced there who you can talk to. So before you start, have your basic maths down for medications and obs and that sort of thing, and also have some basic science down so you can understand the physiology. You don't have to be professional at it yet, but just having some sort of framework to go off is really effective. Whilst on placement, try and be as organized as you can. I know this is hard, but the difference that it makes when I have a clean room and I have my uniform laid out that morning, and I can just get up, take a bit more time to myself, and feel like I have my shit together, is super important, and it really sets me in a good mental space for placement. I know it might be hard, but taking that extra time overnight to get yourself organized really does make a difference. Another massive thing is don't be afraid to ask, can I join in? Can I see that? The other day I was working on the ward, and we were transporting a patient to another hospital, and they needed someone to go with them just to hold an IV stand. It wasn't much, and I was like, yeah, can I go? I'm happy to go. And then I got to experience a different hospital. So I think it's important to just ask, can I join in? Someone goes through an operation, can I come? Can I watch? No harm in asking. If they're like, no, sorry, then at least it shows you're eager, you want to learn, and therefore you might be given the opportunity next time. So don't be afraid to ask. In terms of competition, midwifery is a very competitive degree. In Australia, it's super hard to get into. It's a high ATAR, so the people that are in there are competitive, are driven, are assertive, and this can be very intimidating when you first start, and I know it's something I struggled with, but it really took doing a lot of work on myself and saying, yeah, I might not be the best at math, or I might not have the most knowledge, but I do offer something unique, I do offer something special. I do put my time into learning alternative pain relief options, or breastfeeding. So just know that you have something to offer. And another little snippet of wisdom is, don't look into your neighbor's bowl unless it's to see if he needs help. So if don't look at other students and think, oh, they're doing better than me, they're smarter than me, they're getting higher than me, because it's just going to send you down. Lifting people up is a lot better way to go about it and gives you a bit more fulfillment in this degree. In terms of competition in the hospital, I think a big part of it is what I said previously, just asking to join in, because people will always be wanting to get that experience. So it is just being a little bit more assertive, and I know it can be hard, trust me, I do know, but you don't know how much just asking once can pay off. And that kind of goes along the lines of what I'm going to say next, which is try and develop yourself personally in your own time. I follow personal development and it has changed my life. I read from people like Tim Ferriss, Tony Robbins. So if you start with the base of that and look up that, they talk about emotional intelligence, or just how to be a successful human being, more organized, have more passion, live more fulfillingly. So develop yourself, because these skills are just going to absolutely spill over into your midwifery. I know I found that. So there are a couple of little tips for going on placement. If you have any other questions, don't hesitate to ask. I will make a video about it if you request that, or just give you a short answer if that's all it requires. Don't be afraid to reach out. Thanks so much for watching again, and I'll see you in my next video.